Well, welcome everybody. Glad to see you all here this morning. This is day, 10-11 of the Internet Niche Academy, and we'll be going clear through the end of the month of June. And you know, one of the biggest complaints that I hear from most of my clients working on the Internet is, how do I get everything done that needs to be done? And it is called a thing called focus, and we've been talking about why having a niche is so important and how that will help you to focus in on what's really important to you. And as we've worked through this 30 days, I'm highlighting a lot of the most important things that you need to think about. But remember, in this particular series of classes, that's what I'm doing, is just giving you an overview, a highlight of all of the things that belong in your job description. And yes, you do have a job description as a business owner, and it's important that you know what that is. So I will leave things open so that I can see you, and if you have questions, by all means raise your hand so that I can see that you have a question. Please keep them to the subject at hand until we're finished with today's lesson, and then there's plenty of time for Q&A for anything else that you need to know at the end of the presentation. And finally, decide what you want to get out of today's subject. And then if I haven't covered everything, please let me know, because that's the way we're going to make it the better and then the best, is by knowing that we're addressing all of the issues that you have, or all the problems that you've been having with this particular area. Today we're going to be looking at the importance of titles and the importance of headlines. You know, we've been told since we were little never to judge a book by its cover, but you know what we do? We judge it by the very, very first thing that we see in the email or the ebook or the website or whatever it is that we're looking at. We decide to open it or not based on one thing, and that's its title. You all agree with me on that? Yep. After you get to know somebody a little bit, then you see an email or you see something that comes from that person, and you're more than ready, more than willing to open it up and see what that person is saying. But in the initial, when you meet a person for the very, very first time, it's based on the title. And I know you've seen these before, but we'll go over them again. It's all Ada. It's all her fault, A-I-D-A. She has everything to do with all of this. And the A is to attract a person's attention. And you can do that with pictures. You can do that with color. Wouldn't it be nice in an email if we could put one of the words in our title or one of the words in our headline in red? You do it with jingles that tend to get to be well known, like what was one of them? You'll wonder where the yellow went when you brush your teeth with, what was the product? You deserve a break today. Who's that? Yep, Karen's right. It's McDonald's. So little things like that, and the more people hear them, the more they're said over and over and over and over again, the more that business is remembered. And that's why your tagline is so important, the tagline in your blog, the tagline in your emails that you send out. Those are the little things, little teeny tiny things that you're going to be remembered for. So start paying some attention to them, because they do. Those are the things that attract attention. And then finally there's the logos. The logo will help to attract attention, and it's also one of those things that's going to help to make you known in the business world, in the internet world. The I, you get their interest. What is it that's going to interest your visitor in what you have? Well, you know what, and we've said this before, but if he's using a search engine, he's looking to find something. And he will use keywords to go find it. Well, if you have used the same keywords, and when he gets to that page, it's going to answer the question that he had, then he's going to read the rest of the page. You've already got his interest, right? So, what will interest your visitor? What was he looking for that made him open that email, or made him go to that web page, or made him click the read more on a blog post? So if you'll just remember that, what is it that's going to interest your visitor? And is the answer right there? Is it going to make him read further? Keeping his interest. D, control the direction that you want the person to go. And stories sell. You can control the direction that the readers take, and it's done with well thought out design. It's done by using emotion in that title. And Karen brought us a excellent little tool to use, where you can put your titles and you can put your headlines, and those titles work on emotion. And Karen, I looked for that link, and I'm so embarrassed I couldn't find it. So if before the end of the class, if you would put that link back in there. But it actually tests the emotional quotient of that title or that sentence. And the way you say something is going to control the direction that your reader goes. And the last one, another A, it's a call to action. It's a simple one. I thought I did too, Karen, but when I went to look, I'm going to put it under your name. That way I know I'll be able to find it. The call to action is a simple one. In person, a good sentence always is, how will you be paying for this? Cash, check, or do you use PayPal? And online, in an email, on a website, in where you're selling something, don't confuse the sell or make it difficult for the prospective buyer. Don't make him jump through hoops to get your product or service. You want to make it an easy process for him, and then you know what? He'll come back for more.